Hey guys, it's been a while. I'm really sorry if you're someone who's watching this and you followed me for the creepypasta videos. I know that I left you guys on a cliffhanger and I never finished it. If I'm being honest, I kind of lost all motivation to do a lot of things in my life. I will still make it and post it if that's something you guys really want to see. However, I just wanted to take this video as a chance to kind of sit down and talk about my life and like what's happening. Mainly because TikTok got banned last night, and I at this point I'm like almost 90% sure it's coming back. I think it's like in the works of coming back online right now, but I still just feel like this is a chance to kind of get to talk and feel like I'm talking to someone in a way, even though I'm literally in my room by myself. And if you want to watch and you want to hear my thoughts, then go right ahead. If not, you can just tell me that you would rather watch a creepypasta and I can post that for you too. So I guess I want to start by explaining why I stopped posting the creepypastas all of a sudden. So I started doing it on YouTube because I started doing it on TikTok. And I was getting a following on TikTok by posting scary stories. And I really do love scary stories. Like, I love horror, I love mystery. Like, I have a whole bookshelf full of mystery and horror books. Horror movies are some of my favorite genres. I could talk about horror forever. But I was honestly running low on ideas of things to share. I was asking people to tell me their stories so that maybe I could share those, but I wasn't really getting any response from that. And the truth of the matter is that I'm a very self-deprecating person. And I'm not saying that in a way to get pity. It's just something I've struggled with my whole life, where whatever I do creatively, I tend to overly judge myself. And I try really, really hard not to, but it's just something that I deal with like on a daily basis. And it sucks because I do love to create. I love to create videos. I love to create art. I love to create and make things, and like all I want in my life is to be able to create something that other people can consume and get joy from it or feel emotion from it. And that's a big reason why I love acting. This is a whole other tangent. But a main reason why I love acting so much is because acting for me is such an intimate art form that you don't necessarily get with other art forms. I mean, all art is intimate because you're seeing people's innermost feelings and thoughts and emotions poured out on a canvas or on a page or on a screen, whatever. But acting is so intimate because you are encompassing a different person. If you're not an actor, it's hard to explain, but you fully become a different person when you're acting. Like, you're not yourself. You are the character you're playing. And there's just so much emotion and sincerity and realness about that. And I love to be able to try and encapsulate that and show that to other people so that other people can really feel the story come alive and feel the emotions. And you know when you're watching something really good and you feel it and you're like, you just feel that really strong emotional pull and you're like, this is going to change how I see the world. I want to be able to do that for other people. And whether that be whatever art form, for me it's acting. But I mean, I love making videos. I love talking. I love writing. Like, I love all forms of creativity because all I want in my life is just to be able to make something that other people can love and enjoy and gain emotion and entertainment from. However, this ties back to I love creating, right? But I have a really, really bad tendency to create and then immediately start judging myself. And I think this really does stem from the fact that I had not great friendships growing up. I think I had very judgy people in my life for a long time. And maybe this is too much to share online. You guys can tell me if I'm oversharing. I love my parents so much. So much. Like, they really are some of the most supportive, amazing people. But growing up, I kind of feel like I always had this expectation of already being really good at everything. And that's not to sound big-headed. I was just very naturally gifted in whatever I wanted to do. I was really smart. I picked up things really quickly. And so I don't think there was ever much praise for when I accomplished things, because it was kind of just the expectation that I was going to accomplish them. And I hope that makes sense and doesn't sound like haughty. But it was just like, if I got good grades, okay, awesome. Like, we knew you were going to. If I got the lead in the school play, okay, cool. Like, no one thought you weren't going to. So it was never like a celebration of any of the talents that I had. And so I think because of that, I've always dealt with a lot of self-doubt on whether or not I'm actually talented, because I've never gotten any real validation for it. That just ties into I judge myself very harshly, even if other people aren't. So I think I started doing that with my YouTube videos, right? I was like, oh, if people from my high school saw this, I would be so embarrassed. Or oh, like if I, just shit like that. And then this is something else that I've been going through for the past couple months. I am like 95% sure I fall on the neurodivergent scale. And I say this because we found out recently that my dad is autistic. He did the official testing, and the only reason that he started to put it together that maybe he was is because he started researching because he thought I was. So while he was researching autism in women, he started also researching autism in men, and he was like, oh, I think I'm autistic, and he went through all the testing and everything. The only reason I haven't is because I am terrified of doing any official testing for anything because I'm just scared I'm gonna lie. I literally have this deep-rooted fear that I'm gonna lie on a mental health diagnosis test, that I'm gonna just like give the answers they want to hear and then it's not gonna be accurate. So I just avoid doing it. It's not healthy, I know. But the reason I'm bringing this up because I really do think it ties to my sense of self and the way that I come across, whether that be on the internet or in person. I have a really hard time feeling like people like me because I never really know how I'm coming across, if I'm being perceived in the way I want to be perceived. I can be a very social person. I hate it though. I'm not good at it. I think I'm really good at putting on a character. I've said this before. I see socializing as a form of acting. When I hang out with people, I'm becoming a character in that moment. I'm playing somebody else. And that can be really exhausting and tiring, and it makes me not want to socialize with people. And I really hope this train of thought is making sense, but I really feel like the neurodivergence ties into the self-deprecating behavior in a way of, when I do make friends with people, it's really, really hard for me to genuinely connect with people, right? And so when I first meet people, I think I have a tendency to mold myself into what I think they want me to be. I act the way they act. I like the things they like. And then when I start to feel comfortable and when I start to feel like I can be myself, I tend to start to show my personality more, and I don't think sometimes that just doesn't click with people. And so I've had occurrences in the past where I thought I was really, really good friends with somebody, and then they kind of just like ghosted me, which sounds depressing, but I think that kind of behavior really has lent itself to being overly judgy of myself, because when that does happen, it's like, what did I do wrong? What did they not like about me that I can't see? Oh my god, this is like getting emotional. So I have a tendency to, when I'm creating things, to feel like if people don't like this, they won't like me. And I think all I've ever wanted is for people to like me. I think I've always just really sought validation from everyone around me, and I need to learn how to find that validation within myself. So that's a whole therapy tangent about why I stopped posting, why I'm overly critical about myself. If you can relate to that, no, you're not alone, because I think it really is a lot more common with neurodivergent people. And I could talk a lot more about that. I've done so much reflecting since I've had this realization, and I realized that a lot of things in my life, I viewed them in a different lens than I think it was actually like. So that was a whole tangent. I also wanted to touch on TikTok. And this is going to make me sound like a loser probably, but I just thought, I'm sure there's people out there who can relate. This also stems from the fact that because of neurodivergency and my social anxiety, I have a really hard time making friends. So I don't have a lot of friends. And I'm okay with that. I've always been okay with not having a lot of friends. Like, since I was young, I've never really cared about having a huge friend group. As long as I have one or two really good people that I can rely on and are there for me, I'm set. Like, that doesn't bother me. The only thing that makes it harder is that it does get lonely when your friends don't live close to you. So, for example, one of my friends does live not too far. She lives like 3 hours away, and then the other friend lives in a different state. And I call them all the time, we talk on the phone, and it's good. But as humans, we need social connection. Even if you are an introverted person, which I consider myself to be, after a while, you need human connection or you start to feel really depressed, right? TikTok for me allowed me to feel like I had that community and I had those friends at the touch of my fingers, right? Because I was able to find people that related to me. I was able to find people that liked the things I liked. It's a lot harder for me to go out. I live in the middle of Texas. Granted, I do live in a much more liberal area of Texas than much of Texas is, so I'm sure there are people out there who are like me here. But it's a lot harder to just go out and find those people and connect with those people. I also live in a college town, and I'm not currently in college, so it does feel like there's a bit of a disconnect there. It's like, what are we going to relate about? You're in school, I'm not. And I was trying to explain this to my friends because they don't fully understand what that's like, because they are much more social people. They both have this way of making friends that I've never fully understood. This might sound really depressing, but when I first went to college, my biggest fear going into it was no one's gonna like me. I'm gonna be by myself all the time. And I think I definitely overcompensated for that, and I tried so hard to come across as cool and exciting and fun and interesting. And I think people liked me. I really do. Like, I think people really did perceive me as, like, interesting. But it was really hard to actually connect with people because I was never 100% being myself. And I ended up not really having any good relationships from college. When you constantly feel like you're having to put on a front to be a different person, to give off a certain aura or vibe so people like you or respect you more, you get exhausted, and I think you tend to lose who you are in the process. And that's something that I was working on in therapy before I quit therapy. But one of my New Year's resolutions this year is to restart therapy. I ghosted my therapist. That's a whole different conversation. Maybe I can talk about that whole situation and also my anxiety in a different video. That would actually be, I think, really healing for me, because I've learned a lot about my anxiety in the past year that has really changed how I see things, and it's actually been for the better, I think. I don't know if any of this video has made sense. I don't know if it's giving you some insight into my mind. I'm probably going to post this and then regret posting it and then overly judge myself and then work on not doing that and being like, this is me and this is authentic. So if you're someone who can relate, if you're someone who wants to hear more of this stupid ass rambling, you know, you can subscribe to me. And if you guys want the last part of the creepypasta, I will post it for you. So yeah, I love you guys. Bye.